you can do this curriculum even if you are not a pro at homeschooling. Like if you are just starting out, this is going to be it for you. The language arts curriculum here, it covers phonics, writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, spelling, literature, geography. It's really, really beautiful. I love how beautiful it is. It does have like the spiral learning method where you learn something and then you learn something else, and then a couple lessons later you might spiral and come back to what you learned, last week. So if you're not doing the good and the beautiful, but you are constantly having those struggle fights, try the good and the beautiful for homeschool. Because being a mama of 2 and having a baby girl that's only 7 months, and we came home with a newborn, we needed something that was going to be easy for us to do. Hi guys, welcome to Motherhood and Homemaking. My name is Heaven, and today we're going to get into the Good and the Beautiful Level 1 curriculum. We have been using this curriculum for, I want to say, about 5 months now. We began using this in October, and here we are in mid-February, and we are almost complete. We are on track to be complete with the full first grader level 1 curriculum, both language arts and math and handwriting, by April 4th. That's going to be our last day of homeschool for this school year. So I'm going to go ahead and just give a full review. We are almost just a little bit through unit 3. So there are 3 units inside of each curriculum with 40 lessons in each unit. So since we are almost done, like wrapping it up, I figured this would be the perfect time for me to give a review of this. So I did a full review of the unboxing. Everything went fully in depth of what the curriculum itself covers. So this is just going to be me briefly showing you guys. We have our course book here that has all 120 lessons inside of it, and then we also have the Reading Booster B cards. We have the Nature Reader book, and then we also have the handwriting curriculum. So handwriting is just a level 1 spiral bound notebook. And then we have math. Math is really large spiral bound as well with all 3 units, and then it also includes the math box with it that has everything inside of there that you need. And then last, we've been working on the science curriculum for quite some time, and we've actually been supplementing with like science experiments and things like that, as well as a couple other science books. But this one is actually really, really cute, and I think we're actually going to really dive deep into this over the summer because we are going to take a break. I'm thinking we'll probably break in April, and then we'll start back up, I want to say maybe August. In the past, I've not done that. We've taken like a few weeks off, 2 to 3 weeks, and dove right back in. But I feel like we both really need this break because we've been going for a few years strong without many breaks. We normally don't do like summer breaks, but I think we need a short break. Maybe we'll start back up in July, just so I can really get a grasp for things. Now that I have a second child, we're gonna have to start incorporating a few things for her to do as well. I don't know, we'll see. I say that every year and we just kind of don't. But we have the Science for Little Hearts and Hands big book of science stories, and then we also have this here that comes with it, which is the parent guide that tells you how to teach a lesson as well as any videos that you need to reference. It also comes with these beautiful stories inside of it that are absolutely adorable. It also comes with like movies and things. So this is a really great science lesson, and they have so many. They also have health, they have safety, all of the things. And so I really want to dive into a few more extracurriculars over the summer. So that's why we're going to slow down a little bit with the math and the language arts, just so that we can dive more into extracurricular activities and things like that. So now let's go ahead and get into my review. This is a really easy to follow curriculum. My son is 5 years old, and we are in level 1, or the first grade curriculum. If you want to think in terms of like traditional school grade system, he would be in first grade, but well, they wouldn't allow him to be because he's 5, but technically we're doing level 1 first grade curriculum, and he's going to be finished with this before he turns 6 years old. So he's been able to follow along with this. The language arts curriculum here, it covers phonics, writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, spelling, literature, geography, and art. There's a ton of phonics. There's a ton of reading, grammar and punctuation, and literature. Then there's a little bit of geography sprinkled throughout there. There's a little art in there, and then there's a little spelling in there as well, and then writing. Now, what I forgot to show you guys is that it also comes with booster cards. So you get the booster books and the booster cards. The booster cards are really helpful. That goes more into depth for the reading, and it also goes more into depth for like a little bit of the grammar and punctuation, but mostly good for reading. When it comes to spelling, Now, each unit has its own list of spelling words. There's a list of spelling words that you want to have mastered before you begin this curriculum, and then you get a new list every unit. So there's 3 units, and then you get about 10 spelling words or so. The spelling words are kind of easy. They get a little bit gradually difficult, but the spelling words that they're focusing on are like sight word spelling words. So this is because typically, you would be able to spell out a word by just sounding it out. And it does, have options and chances for your child to do that as well. But these spelling words are ones that are a little bit difficult to spell, like done and none and more and move. And let me see, I have a list of them because sometimes throughout the day, we just go through them. And I'm trying to give you guys an idea of like what those spelling words are. So are, look, love, was, your, from, done, none, more, move, many, any, school, some, does, go, there, little, girl, said, things like that. So the ones that for my son, for instance, like the word typically from when you sound it out, you would think it's F-R-U-M, but it's not F-R-U-M. It's F-R-O-M. So that's what I mean when I say like sight words that necessarily don't sound like how they're spelled. So there's that. It does have like the spiral learning method where you learn something and then you learn something else, and then a couple lessons later you might spiral and come back to what you learned last week. I'm still not 100% sure if that's my favorite way of going about it, because I really like mastering one thing before moving on to the next. That's just the way that I learn things. Everyone learns different. My son has been pretty okay with it, luckily. He can learn something and then next week when we revisit again, he's able to remember what we did. But I really feel like we might want to, I want to try the other method of learning and see how he does with mastering one thing before we move on to another thing. Because that's how we would do things when he was in Head Start, like preschool. Like we started homeschooling when he was 2.5 years old. So we would just like master things that we were learning through Montessori curriculum or Montessori learning before moving on to another thing, And so I don't quite know. He's been doing well with it, but I'm still not for sure that's my favorite way of like the learning. Everyone is different. This one doesn't include a whole lot of hands-on learning. So if you like are into like hands-on manipulative puzzles and things like that, it comes with like a little math box, but that's about it. There are a few things that you still need to purchase, like art supplies. We purchased some more money supplies, fake money and things like that. We purchased like math linking cubes, things like that, math sticks. There are some things within the Good and the Beautiful curriculum that you're going to want to purchase extra to really enhance your child's learning. But also there's not a ton of hands-on, like let's step out from the book for a minute and just do some learning. There's not a lot of that. So if your kid thrives with hands-on learning, then you're gonna want to like supplement and purchase some extra things. It's really, really beautiful. I love how beautiful it is. I feel like I can trust that in doing these here lessons, he's gonna know the things that he should know at his grade level. I don't feel like I'm gonna be guessing like, is he behind? Are we missing out on something? I don't get that feel from this curriculum. I feel like he's learning everything that he needs to know, and then they also introduce things that he's gonna need to know for the next level up. So for instance, there's gonna be some things in here that he's learning that's really from 2nd grade learning, but he doesn't necessarily need to master it, but it's introducing it to him so that once he begins 2nd grade, then he will have already been introduced to it. So I do love that as well. The art in it, although I personally think that a lot of it's a lot. I think that I would prefer for it to be in a separate curriculum, art all by itself, as opposed to it being like sprinkled through in there. That's just my preference. My son, he does okay with it, but I think it just should be a separate. I want to say the thing that I love most about the Good and the Beautiful curriculum is that you can do this curriculum even if you are not a pro at homeschooling. Like if you are just starting out, this is going to be it for you. If your little one kind of dreads doing homeschool, this is also going to be the one for you, because we've done other curriculums where my son did not want to do it. But when we're doing the Good and the Beautiful, they have like little games in there. They also have like the videos. I love that about it. But there are things in the curriculum itself that, for one, because it's not so difficult to digest and each lesson is about on average 3 pages long, he doesn't feel super overwhelmed and he actually likes it. Some days he say he loves doing homeschool. He's looking forward to it. Some days he requests that we just do more pages because that means a shorter school year. But he actually does really well. We don't have to have those fights. So if you're not doing the good and the beautiful, but you are constantly having those struggle fights, try the good and the beautiful for homeschool. We had those struggle fights when we were doing Horizon curriculum because the curriculum itself was a little bit like longer of a day, had more sentence practice and things like that. But this one is very easy to digest, not just for him, but for me as well, because being a mama of 2 and having a baby girl that's only 7 months, and we came home with a newborn, we needed something that was going to be easy for us to do. I love that it comes with like those booster games. It comes with 2 apps. One app is good for spelling practice. The other one is just good for everything that's covered and taught in here. They have read alouds, bedtime stories. They have like Christian music, songs, and things like that. They have physical education videos to follow along with. They have like little games that help you practice your sight words and everything. They have all that stuff, just not for math, but just for the language arts. So I love that. It teaches you like how to, actually for math too, because it has days of the week, it has months of the year, how to spell the number words and everything. So yeah, for both of them, you have all of that stuff that you can access either through their YouTube channel, their Letter Tales app, or their homeschool app. Has, you know, extra things that you can do. So sometimes if I feel like my son didn't do so well with like a certain lesson for the day and I think he needs a little more practice, once we're done with homeschool for the day, I will send him to his room with his tablet and have him just play around inside of the app and play with some of those learning games, and he'll, you know, be able to get a little more practice after we finish with school. It's also great for if you're on the go, like in the car, or if you are like taking an airplane trip, or if you're leaving and traveling where you don't necessarily want to take a full curriculum, but you want to make sure that your child is still learning something. You can pull out that app and they'll have a little bit of learning. So I love that all of that is included. The other thing is that this curriculum is super duper affordable, especially compared to everything out there. For one, you can print the full curriculum for free. Just print it out and there you go. You can just print it out for free. You can do the booster books and cards on your phone or on your tablet, on like a reading Kindle and things like that. All of that. But even if you wanted to purchase the physical set, it's also really inexpensive. I think I paid $120. I can't really remember, but there are curriculums that cost way more. Even the Horizons costed, I think, way more, like maybe $200 something for Horizons for the level 1 or kindergarten curriculum. A Becca is way expensive, $500 to $800, and then like the Sunlight, and trust me, this one is affordable compared to everything else out there, and it does your child well. So yeah, I love all that good stuff about this book. Really, I like the language arts a lot, but I love the math curriculum. My son loves math, but I feel like this curriculum is just, it does so well the way that they teach it. Like it's beautifully taught, and he always grasps these math lessons really well. Again, everything is beautiful, and then I love that it comes with the box. Handwriting curriculum, it is okay. Now for level 1, it has a lot of like letter practice still. So this is really good at making sure your child is going to really master that letter practice, and then it has opportunity for them to draw pictures, things that they like. So the handwriting curriculum is also really good. Overall, since we've chosen the good and the beautiful for first grade curriculum, I'm happy that we did. It was literally like what we needed. It was perfect for exactly what we needed, especially where we are currently in life, so that my son can keep up and get things done, and it doesn't have to be like a fight, and I don't have to feel like he's missing out on anything. The good and the beautiful did as well as it always does. So I really loved it. We did their preschool, we did their pre-kindergarten, we did their kindergarten, now we're doing first grade. So love the good and the beautiful. My little thing that I would say like I didn't really like a ton is this, like it's falling, it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like falling apart. Now again, it's an affordable curriculum, but yeah, like the spiral method is just not it. I think maybe grade 3, second, I hope second grade, but I know for sure by third grade they switch, and goodness, you do not have to deal with these because the pages are just too huge. Like the book is just too huge for it to be spiral bound. Like when we printed out the kindergarten curriculum and took it into the print shop to be printed, they told me like you have to split this up into 2 booklets because it's just way too big. So we had to split up this into like 2 books when we went to get it printed, but somehow they managed to get this all in one little booklet, and because of that it kind of begins to have some wear and tear and fall apart. You have to be very careful. Like look at this, thank goodness we are almost through because this thing don't have a whole lot of life left in it, so not really going so well. This is the style we would prefer. This is the style that lasts. This is the style to go with. It's just way easier to work with. You can't do this with the spiral bound. Like it's just no, unless you want it to fall apart. So that's my take on that. I'm not a fan of it. Now let's talk about these reader books, because I love that they really tie into them in the books. The stories are super duper cute. My son loves a lot of the stories in here. They're really beautiful, easy to follow books. I love that they included really good stuff. I think these ones are like, okay, Good and the Beautiful, they have a certain type of thing. And if you are doing the Good and the Beautiful, you know that theme that I'm referring to. And so you will see that throughout their books and their curriculum and everything like that. It's good stuff. All sweet, good, beautiful stuff. So, there's that. It's a really good curriculum. I love it. Would we use the Good and the Beautiful again? Absolutely. Now, I know in the past when I've done these review videos and I asked myself, would we be using these again? The answer was normally like, I don't know. We might try something else. But the truth is, yes, we're going to be using it again. Majority because of the price point and everything that you get for the price, but also because of how very easy it is to use. There are still some things that I feel like, okay, that's a challenge. We need to slow down, take it back, and reiterate and make sure that we really dive in. So I don't feel like it's just so easy to where it's not a challenge for him, because he still has a few challenging moments that we have to really dial into. So there's that, but it's not so much that it's overwhelming for me as a mama who's only been homeschooling for 3 years, or for him, as a 5-year-old. So he's a toddler, and we can normally be done with homeschool within 90 minutes. And that's still a long time. But that includes like our devotions and our Bible studies, the handwriting, the art portion, and then math and reading, the booster cards, and the curriculum, all of that. We can normally get it done within about 60 to 90 minutes. So that tells you, like, it's not the easiest for him. But that's because, so we do both math. We do each subject every single day. I know some people would do like math on Mondays and then language arts on Tuesdays. We just do all of them every single day. We start off with our Bible study, our devotions, and then we go into handwriting, and then we go into the reading practice, and then the language arts. We read a book, we do math, all that. Every single day. But if you wanted to split it up, you definitely could. It can make your days a little bit shorter, but in a full day, a full 12-hour day, a 90-minute lesson for homeschool it's really not much, or at least for us, and we are pretty busy around here, so there's that. But overall, I love the curriculum, and go buy it and go try it. I would highly recommend it. This is the curriculum I always recommend to families when they say they are just starting out with homeschool, because they get the option to get the sample download, or just download the whole curriculum and maybe just print out a few lessons from unit 1 or the whole thing, just to see what their kid loves or likes about the curriculum, or if they like it at all. And then if they do, they can just go out and purchase the whole thing. I have successfully converted so far about 3 mamas to the Good and the Beautiful curriculum, because I love it and I highly recommend it, especially for new homeschool parents. Our goal is to later on move up to Abeka, which is so expensive. I think we're going to start exploring Abeka once we get into middle school or so. Maybe see if we like it, so that we know for sure if we're going to stick with that in homeschool. I'm hoping that, for high school, I'm hoping that once we get to high school, we will have found a curriculum that we don't want to switch back and forth with. Even now, we switch back and forth from the Horizons curriculum to the Good and the Beautiful, with Hooked on Phonics, with Elemental Phonics, different things we're switching back and forth through. But when it comes to high school, I'm really wanting to stick with the same curriculum for 4 years straight. So in middle school, I'm thinking if we go ahead and just give Abeka a try, that'll let us know, okay, which do we want to stick with? Do we like Abeka? We've done it for 3 straight years. Do we want to go back to the Good and the Beautiful? We're still going to be trying things out. But as far as elementary goes, we're going to stick with the Good and the Beautiful is what I'm thinking. And then in the summertime, we'll do extracurriculars, maybe explore other little Bible curriculums. Like there's a good one called, what is it called? It's in my card. I'm gonna look at it really quick. The Gentle Plus Classical Press. They have like a primer bundle that is adorable, and I really wanted to give that one a try. It's a full, bright, beautiful curriculum that I really wanted to give a try this summer. It goes more into Bible studies, so we want to go over the safety curriculum 100%, and we want to go over the health curriculum 100%. So these are full curriculums. So I really want to focus in on that this summer when we're taking our break between April and July, because trying to do all of those 3 curriculums in addition to our math, our science, and reading and language arts, it's going to be a lot. And summer is also typically the time when we're going more places, we're getting out and about, and we're doing more things. So I don't want to overwhelm us, but those are still key things that he needs to know: safety, health. He's getting older. We're going to focus on that in the summertime. So of course I'm going to come back and tell you guys our actual summer plans, show you guys what curriculums we decided to go with and everything, give you guys a general unboxing. But as far as getting the beautiful, I want to say we've pretty much wrapped up this here chapter almost. We're going to be done within another month and a half, and I wanted to share with you guys how I felt about the curriculum. It's a very solid curriculum. Not a ton of biblical reference and things like that. If you really want to do some biblical teachings with your kids, you're going to need to supplement. So that's what we do. But overall, it's a great curriculum. I do highly recommend it. And I hope that this video maybe have helped you. If you want to see a full curriculum rundown, everything that's included in unboxing and everything, I will link that video up in the corner for you guys, as well as down below, so that you guys can check it out. But that's going to be all for today's Good and the Beautiful Level 1 curriculum review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you are new here, I haven't gotten a chance to fully introduce myself. My name is Heaven, and I'm a homeschool mama and a stay-at-home mama. I have a 6-year-old son as well as a 7-month-old baby girl. It's just me and my husband and our 2 sweet babes. And here I share motherhood and homemaking content. So days in the life, homeschool videos, as well as home organization, clean with me, shopping hauls, grocery hauls, all of the good stuff. I try to also make sure that I include a lot of biblical teachings and things like that, because that is the solid foundation of where I get all of my inspiration from, where I learn all of my homemaking and everything like that. It's just straight from the Bible, as well as some, natural experiences and things like that. So if you're looking for another mama to connect with, you could use some homemaking inspiration, some motherhood motivation, I highly recommend that you go ahead and subscribe to join the family. I would love to have you here. That's going to be all for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.